nation was founded by men of many nations and backgrounds. It was founded on the principle that all men are created equal.
Organized religion and organized crime working together to help build a better America.
Thank you for joining us for the Citizen Noise Exchange, episode 10. As always, we're coming to you live from the Zion's Lions War Room, deep underground in downtown Salt Lake City.
Deep and hard, baby.
This is the Citizen Noise Exchange. My name's Colby Tapp. Thank you for joining us.
Jacob the Lion.
Jacob the
in
Lion.
the house.
Sorry. Gaston Arbitro. Thanks for joining us. I'm excited for this episode. We got a really awesome show with some guests lined up. We got a little bit of a news flash for you, a little bit of an update. We're going to go on an indefinite hiatus. We're not going to give you the reason why. You can fuck yourself. So,
Yeah.
You guys want to talk
Well,
about
no, we're going to go on a hiatus for an undisclosed amount of time. Hopefully just only, a couple of months tops. But we plan to revamp the show, kind of review what we've done so far, and hopefully bring you a more refined product. Maybe have a YouTube show, with us
Secrets to make friends.
sitting around a table.
Yeah.
I don't know, like
if you guys have some ideas, you have some suggestions, things you might want to see, then go ahead and get online. The Facebook, the YouTube, citizennoise.com, Citizen Noise Exchange
page.
Yeah, there's the Facebook page and all that jazz.
And the
My
YouTube
bad.
page. Yeah, go ahead and give us a like, give us some feedback. Hopefully you're listening. Got anything to say
Fucking
about
A.
the
Don't purchase citizennoiseexchange.com, and if you do purchase it, donate it, please.
You're fucking done.
We're gonna save up for lawyers and come get your ass. but we
have a
hope
fund.
you've enjoyed what we've done so far, and if you're listening to this, we're very grateful that we made it this far and that we have people listening to us. It's an awesome thing.
It's been
We're
awesome
glad.
so far, and we want to keep doing it, but hiatus is always nice.
And we'll come back with a more
juicy.
It works.
revamped product. Yeah, you'll get to see us sitting around the table, whiskey bottles in hand, and
Suits
talking
and
shit.
ruffled wigs and all.
yeah,
Powdered noses.
Yeah.
So we're going to go ahead and kick off the show. That all right with you guys?
that's great, dude.
We got a couple of pretty interesting guests with us. Why don't you guys introduce yourselves?
Hi, my name's Peter Lawrence. I'm an associate professor at UOB, Vancouver, British Columbia, and Team C.N.E. has allowed me to come and put electrodes in their brains and monitor their movements here for a social study.
It makes me gassy. It's all right
and,
so far.
I'm very appreciative. I think
My
it
name
should
is
be
Colby Long.
interesting.
Actually, it's my first appearance here on C.N.E. I'm happy to be here.
That's very
Great.
rude, sir.
I thought you were done.
I
Well, see,
wasn't done.
Well, I guess continue.
And what's your status, Hobie?
It's actually my first appearance here on C.N.E., and I'm actually quite surprised that everyone here is wearing pants. I didn't know that it was going to be a pants-wearing radio
Podcast.
endeavor. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's a little awkward right now in the war room. He's not wearing panties or
I'm very sweaty.
yeah, and he's not wearing pants. So let's just do our first segment. What's our first segment, you guys?
Jacob.
Oh yeah, it's we got
Jacob's the captain of this ship.
yeah, it was we got a 10-year marker for a pretty big event in American history. It's
Niner-Leven.
Exactly. And it's kind
One
of
of them Niners?
kind of important to
Niner-Levens.
take a look back and see how shit has changed and where we're at because of this, event and the ins and outs and whatever.
Gotcha.
Still needs discussion. It's still relevant,
Yeah, we need to keep talking about this for as long as we can.
Well, it affects, and that's, regardless of any conspiracy, it affects us every day, and that's, the reason we're involved in 2 wars. That's the reason you can't do certain things anymore. That's the reason you have to get on an airplane and get your get scanned and stripped down or whatever, you know what I mean, patted down. That I mean,
it's brutal.
And we all want people to be safe out there, but I don't know. The way 9/11 has affected us is pretty incredible. Constantly, it's a reminder every single day, the paranoia and the fear that it created here in the United States.
Well, and the death and all the other ugly shit, exterior the United States. You know what I mean?
Well, war. And it took, and there are some 9/11 truthers amongst us, definitely in this crowd, and but the way it affected us, regardless of who conducted the whole operation, the impact that it's had, on the American consciousness, it's just incredible. There are people who it's the founding fathers' worst fears have come true. It's people openly and it almost using patriotism in guise to surrender freedom for security, liberty for security.
Save us from ourselves and save us from the terrorisms and be ready to give up, your right to breathe just so you're
safe.
Yeah, safe. There you go, even better. And
I don't know, anywhere in America there's always a risk of something bad happening to you, and something bad will probably happen to every one of us at some point or many points in our lives, and to waste our time being so afraid of such an arbitrary thing that's so uncommon and let it affect the way this country is headed is kind of a tragic thing, because I don't know, the Constitution, certain freedoms, there are certain sacrifices we all have to make, and we should all recognize that we should never make the sacrifice of liberty for security. It's just
ever.
not.
The forefathers would be shitting in their fucking panties right now.
I don't know.
I doubt they were
Well,
panties.
from a purely social standpoint, it's a very effective mechanism to employ and use fear, and has been traditionally used for millennia in order to incite any number of terrible things into being. But you say arbitrary, and I say important in regards to 9/11 had a solidifying effect on the psyche of the American people, where the sheltered lives crumble, and all of a sudden they're vulnerable, and it's a
Vulnerable?
challenge.
Go back to Canada, Vancouver, Joe.
Well,
no, Mr.
I'm afraid of Americans.
Was he invited?
David Bowie.
Most likely to.
David Bowie song.
Professor Lawrence has a really good point. Well, it's blatant that it's cowardice disguised as patriotism.
But to
Well,
blur,
it is
but you blur the
arbitrary.
lines between right or wrong, though. Right or wrong is not so simple. To do one terrible thing to make a greater good at the end is a very easy thing to legitimize when you're trying to drive society forward. This is regardless. Al-Qaeda, it could be potentially important. Maybe the Constitution of the United States is an antiquated document.
Well, I just think the reason that it's arbitrary is there are so many certainties based on this gigantic uncertainty. Young men and women go into the armed services
life is uncertainty, my friend.
Well, no, I'm just saying that, but it's
Certainty is
false faith and false certainty is dangerous, and we have young men and women still going and fighting and dying in these wars that were without 9/11 happening, we wouldn't be involved in them. We wouldn't have been able to drum up the war machine that we did and bankrupt the country without that sort of catalytic event that changed everybody. And no matter who you are, no matter whether or not you cared or even gave a fuck about politics or anything, it changed your life. And the reason that I say it's arbitrary is it's just everybody is so certain to go and die and surrender the nation's fortunes just over this this idea that they think is true, and it may or may not be.
War is the acquisition of funds, and in the American model, it's the paramount feature of how you keep yourself rolling. It's no surprise that any end result to anything would be an act of war. I mean, you're a warring nation.
Absolutely, I agree. I mean, the Twin Towers are like the Reichstag on steroids, and Goebbels,
really, dude.
Goebbels and
Gotta love them twins.
Cheney and Rove are Goebbels, the propaganda machine's wet dream. Like, whatever is going on, they pulled it off so very well. We have an entire nation fooled almost.
And that's an awesome, when you have a perspective of history, it really does change the game, and it changes what exactly is happening right now. Because, I mean, even another perspective and scenarios like when the Russians invaded Afghanistan, and we helped covertly. We helped we placed the Taliban. We gave them guns.
Osama bin Laden. We placed him in the head of an organization.
And we, with the Taliban, fought the Russians, and it was more directly through them, indirectly through us. And we beat them and all that stuff. They beat them. And now it's the same thing. We invade Afghanistan, and they're terrorists. They're no longer freedom fighters like they were back then. Because that's how we label them. Oh, the Taliban freedom fighters are fighting the communists, and now we're doing the same thing, and we're the good guys. We're not, and they're not. No, they're no longer freedom fighters. They're terrorists.
It's just anybody who knows anything knows you don't leave the CIA. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Once you're in, you're always in. You're dying in the CIA.
Yeah.
And. Absolutely.
What if you're just the booth guy that checks the IDs?
Dude, you probably got a chip in your body, dude. Even if you're a guy that scrubs the toilets.
I mind you, you all have electrodes, and I've been noticing that your meters have moved from slightly aggressive panic to a little more sedate in the farther reaches of the rant. And so
this is Hobie Long.
And marijuana will do that to you.
This is Hobie Long, and I just want to say that I'm probably the most ignorant person here, and so I don't have really any discussion or thought about this. So
well, thanks for interrupting with nothing.
I'm not really I'm not really sure why I'm here. I'm probably the
You thought this was a pee party or something, dude.
I did. I'm gonna go put my pants on.
Let's bring it back full circle a little bit. It's great. You gonna go pee your pants?
But yeah, well, make sure you guys buy your 10-year commemorative 9/11 wine, just so you know.
Well, it's delicious. I have 2 bottles.
You can buy, like little gold.
I have 2 bottles.
Because he's double patriot. He's double XL patriot.
Getting drunk on patriotism.
Well, it's I don't know.
It's a strange social phenomenon. I have to explore.
Well, we wouldn't.
That is his study.
And it's just amazing what we were able to do and get the Cold War. Gaston brought up an important thing about Afghanistan and the Soviet Union and how the CIA trained Afghanis and all that. And the Cold War, I think, was just a massive prep. It was a proving ground that paranoia could drive 50 years of warfare, and we could still call it the Cold War when we were perpetually at war. It was a hot war. The entire time. It was the hottest Cold War you ever knew, because we were, from the day the World War II ended, from the year it ended, we were at war again with several other powers, be it actually militarily, but by say 7 years after World War II, we were on fear. Perpetually at war for the next 50 years.
There's only a very small difference in the practicality of the implementation of a corporation and the implementation of a military power. You have to understand that it's very. America had been warring with the Soviet Union economically for, since its birth. It's a very important thing to remember and know that the fear is always there and will always be there. We've always been engaged in some sort of an attack, some sort of terrifying circumstance that's going to make you act unwieldy and be completely suspicious and terrifying and horrible to your fellow human beings. And
wow,
it's pretty apparent.
Let's leave him with the last word.
Let's talk. Yeah, that's great. 9/11. It's affecting us still today. Remember it for the reasons it should be remembered for. Let's.
And not the reasons they would have you believe.
Take your flags off your lapels and really think about what happened that day and how it affected us.
Yeah. Get your dick out of the dirt, America.
Grab your dick. Get that dick out.
So we're gonna do a fucking topic roulette. I'm getting more and more excited about this topic, or about this segment.
Yeah, topic roulette, in case you didn't know, is our classic segment where we take 33 subjects and place them in a chalice, and our good Sir Jacob the Mormon shakes them about, and we each draw, and we discuss the topic that we draw. That's about
random.
it.
We don't know what they are either.
So